Then when I was in Bangalore, this is early 80s, you had to make, at least you have to make 2 life members in the month because you're maintained by the temple. So they expected you to bring in some collection. And I was a very bad life membership maker. So, but I had to do 2 in a month. And that month was already after 20th, and there was only 10 days left. So I was taking the telephone directory and I was just looking some Bengali names again, so it will be much easier for me to do. Then I found this one Ganguly name. So I thought, well, let's make some appointment with him. I called up that place. It said some factory name. So I thought it must be some chemical factory and it will be easy to go and see him. I called up and then I said, I'm speaking from the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I want to come and see you today. So Mr. Ganguly sounded very positive. He said, oh, you are from Hare Krishna movement. Yeah, you please come at 11 o'clock and see me. So I took the membership form and one small set of books and one poster and like that. And then I went to see this place on Tumkur Road. But I found that this was a huge place. This was like almost equal to the aeronautical engineering place in Bangalore. I didn't expect. And as I started seeing the compound wall as the auto rickshaw was driving in, I was losing hope that there is no way this man is going to become member by me. It seems to be a huge place. And then I went one secretary, then another secretary, then another secretary, and it was already my appointment time, and I'm still with secretaries. And he seemed to be the topmost man of the place. So I'm almost losing all the faith. Maybe when I go there, he will say, we already have 10 life memberships in Calcutta, so maybe he will give me, a galta, ask me to go back. So still I thought, well, having come all the way, I should see him. So they brought me finally into this big air-conditioned cabin, and there was a meeting going on, and then he actually closed the meeting. He told everybody, I have to talk to the Hare Krishna now, so you all go. And then they all left. So I came in, I spread the book on his table and put the poster up, and then I can see that I won't have much time with this man, so I wanted to be really short. So I said, I'm sure you know about this movement, and we are having a branch here, and we don't have a land yet, and maybe we will get one. We have applied, and here is a set of books, and this is a great work. You are a Bengali, you should be proud of this, because our Guru Maharaj is also a Bengali, and he has spread Hare Krishna all around the world, and I'm sure you appreciate this service, so if you could take one life membership. And then I became silent. So he opened his drawer and took his checkbook. So then he said, what is the amount? So I said, 2,222. And he said, it's okay. So I give you a donation. You can make one life membership also. And he wrote some 10,000 something and tore the check and gave it to me. So I was very moved. I said, oh, thank you very much. This is a very nice gesture of you. So then he said, sit down. I want to tell you, I didn't do this convinced by your preaching. So I said, oh, well, I didn't think I convinced you either, but anyway, this is very nice contribution. So he said, but listen, sit down, I want to tell you something. He said, my father Ganguly, he was a classmate of your founder Acharya. Then he said that every day he came to our house and he played chess with my father before going to the college, to the school, Matilal Free School. So he said Prabhupada will come with in the bike with his little tiffin for the lunch, and they will play chess, Mr. Ganguly and Abai. And if Ganguly gets defeated, then he will have to feed Prabhupada with his lunch. If Prabhupada is defeated, then it's the other way, so he will take. And almost every day Prabhupada defeated him. And then Ganguly was taking his lunch. This also means that he gave his lunch to him. So it's like you conquer the other person's lunch. That's the stake for the chess play. So he said that this was the childhood times of my father. He said then he became a Sanskrit scholar, his father, and he was teaching in the local university, Ravindra Bharati there. And he used to always speak about, that this founder of Hare Krishna movement, that's Maharaj, was my classmate, and he was coming every day, and he will tell about it, childhood Leela with him. And how Abhay always told him that later on when he does something, he would take his help. That you should help me later on when I do something. And then he always said, what is that something? So he said, later on I will be doing something, then I need your help. But there was no more explanation this. What was this something that he was going to do? So then he grows up, he becomes a Sanskrit PhD, becomes a professor, he gets married and he has children. And then he comes to know that the same Abhay Babu has become a Bhaktivedanta Swami, and he went to New York and so on and so forth. And it's a local center in Albert Road, so he has gone there a few times. And then they were saying that Prabhupada was coming to visit. So at this time, the junior Ganguly, he is now in high school, so he comes with his mother to see Prabhupada. Continuously 2-3 days he has come, and there is Guru Puja and there is class, and then in the class Prabhupada looks around and then looks at him because he looks just like his father. So he says, Apnar naam ki? Kutai te kya asichin? So then he says, I am Ganguly, I am son of such Ganguly. He said, oh, where is he? He didn't come? You tell him, I want to see him. So the mother and son, they come back, and then the son told the father that Maharaj wants to see you. So his father says, how can I go and see him? He is the guru of the world, and here I am a Griha Medi and this, that. And so the son says, but he wants to see you. Tomorrow he's going to ask us, why didn't you bring your father? Then he said, well, you tell him that I am sick. So he didn't want to go because he's feeling shy. He's feeling too small and shy. He is world guru. He's got all foreigners sitting at his feet. And so then they come back, and then before starting the class, Prabhupada looks at him and he said, your father didn't come? Then he says, well, he is feeling sick. Oh, he's sick. Okay, I will come and see him. So then after the class they went back home and they told him that he said he will come. He said, how he will come to our house, like that. Next day morning, Prabhupada goes for morning walk, and instead of going to Victoria, from Park Street, suddenly he turns his route. He turns right, he takes one gully and another gully and another gully, and all the devotees are following him. They think, where is he going? But Prabhupada is seriously chanting and walking, and after going few gullies, he comes to this man's house. He rings the bell. So the son comes down. He is getting ready to go to school, and he comes down with the uniform, and he sees, Prabhupada with all his disciples in front of his house. Already the whole road is gathering because of this thing. And it's a huge crowd in front of his house. And Prabhupada just walks up, and a couple of devotees went in. It's a small staircase. So he goes to the house, and then he knows the whole house, so he goes straight to the bedroom. And there is this man laying down. He's not sick, he's just laying down. He's old. I mean, he is 1 year elder than Prabhupada, so he is quite old. And, family life and conditioned soul, so he is more tired and broken up and like that. So Prabhupada goes and sits next to him, then he said, and pokes him on his side with his hand like this, like friends do. He said, hey, you didn't come to see me, in Bengali. And then he lifts his eyes and he sees, suddenly he's completely shocked that all the Hare Krishna devotees are in his house. Then he tells his wife, please bring something for him, and then they go on talking, and Prabhupada says that, see, my disciples, they have to learn Sanskrit. So I want you to, I told you, you should help me. So you should come and teach them Sanskrit. It will be very good. And he said, you can travel around the world with me and you teach them Sanskrit. So why don't you do that? So he says, oh, Swamiji, I am retired and I am very old and I don't have any spiritual energy. No, you have the spark. It is the same spark like in me. It's the same spiritual spark in you. So you should, now he speaks in English so that everybody else understands. Then he says, no, you should join this movement. This is very important. And then he says, Bharata Bhumite Manusha Janma Hoila Jar. So you should perfect your life. And better late than never. And then he takes little rasgulla and drinks water. And then, like old days, he takes this man's chadar and wipes his hand in it.